Let's get started.
Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in once again to the Manny Show. I got with me the homie Bri.
Hey y'all.
If you don't know about her, you're about to get very familiar with her. She's doing a lot of great and amazing things in the city. Now, you from Akron?
Yeah, I'm from Akron.
Okay, represent Akron.
Hey.
But we in
Hey,
Cleveland.
Brian.
Hey. All right, y'all. So, Manny Show, Bri, let's get it in.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. What's going on?
Please tell the people your name and what you do.
My name is Bri Norelle. I am a creative. I do marketing and branding. I have a business called Bri Norelle, as well as another organization by the name of Queens Collective. I am 1/3 of Queens and Gems with Christian and Penny Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do a lot. I'm a mom. I do a whole bunch of things, but passion and focus is on creatives and supporting individuals who have a creative vision or dream into manifesting that through a solid brand. So that's my heart right there.
Yeah, that's totally important. Yeah, Christiana, she's cool people. She actually recommended you, almost like forced me to put you on the show.
Well, thank you for the plug, Chris. Appreciate that.
Yeah, she's really good people.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I'm glad that she surrounded herself with other like-minded individuals that's doing their thing as well.
That's important. I mean, you got to be with people who are on your same level or above, like where you're trying to go.
Absolutely.
Definitely got to be around some positive people. So I feel that 5,000%.
So what made you get started doing everything?
What made me get started? It was just a natural need, to be honest. I always find myself with friends and family just falling into people trusting me with their creative ideas or trusting me with a vision or a plan that they had, and I'll find myself supporting and helping to get like the logistical stuff done, as well as moving through the creative process so that they move from an idea to an actual like manifested project or product. So it started there with the demand with the homies, and then it expanded to people giving recommendations, and I said, well, let me launch and do this and make it a business.
I love it. Now, I'm going to tell you to fix your jacket, your collar.
Yes.
Because it's dope. I like it. It's just one was leaning to the left, one was leaning to the right.
Shout outs to Kanye.
Yeah, for sure.
My dude, so thank you for getting me together. I felt like I needed to pop my collar today.
No, you get. You got. Sometimes you got to pop your collar. It's a statement. There you go.
There it is.
All right. So when you were helping your friends and some close family as well, you think?
Yeah, family too.
So what made you say, like, man, I'm dope at this. I can really do this full time. Like, I really want to do this as a business and not just helping on the side.
I think seeing the results.
Okay.
As much as I believe passion is important, I believe it's important to produce results.
Yeah.
So when I saw my friends who I was helping behind the scenes and their stuff was popping and they were sustaining after a year, 2 years, 3 years, I'm like, you know what, it's something to this.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe in moving in the lane of your passion as well as where you're producing results.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, you know what, if I can do it for them, why can't this be translated to people that I don't necessarily know, or why can't it be translated on a bigger scale to where I'm receiving pay for it?
Respect.
Yeah, so that's how that went.
So do you feel like you're good at what you do?
I believe I'm good at what I do.
Okay, that's what's up. Now it starts there though, right?
Yeah, you gotta have a level of confidence, because you can't have somebody trust you with their. I believe that people's creative process is their baby. So at the end of the day, you're trusting me with something that's close to your heart. So why would I trust my kid, or why would somebody trust their kid with somebody who's not?
Wouldn't it be crazy, like, to go to a daycare and you're like, so who's the teacher? I am. So you gonna teach my kid? I think I can. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, you have to like know what you're doing. I'm going to trust you with my baby, with my brand.
Absolutely.
In order to make this thing better. Because if you're going to make it worse or subpar,
don't need you.
Don't need you.
And here's the thing. I am a mother of a 6-month-old daughter, and that's my first kid.
Oh, okay.
I'm hyped about being a mom. Thank you. I am all about.
Are you overprotective?
You know what? I wouldn't say that I'm overprotective, but I am very aware of what type of situations I put my kid in, right? Yeah. Because I'm responsible for her. So I couldn't imagine sending my daughter to somebody's care who I can't trust. Like, what is that? So I definitely believe there's a level of humility that you have to have. Like, let's not be over the top, and let's not, boost ourselves and not produce the work. Exactly. Let's be relatable, but let's also give people quality so that they can leave with something better than what they came in the door with. And I also believe in honesty. If I can't do it, if I don't have the skills to do it, if it's not my lane, I'm going to be upfront and honest with that and refer out, because I think that that's where we make a mistake at as well.
And I do think that a lot of people try to get in different lanes that they're just not good at.
Not for you.
I mean, because it's one thing to, like you said, be honest and say, look, I'm okay with this. I'm just starting to learn this. But what I hate, honestly, Bri, is the people that front.
Can't be doing that.
Like, you got this Instagram, you got this Facebook. Yeah, I've been doing this for this long. I got these clients. No, you don't. Stop fronting. You ain't got no clients, and that's okay. If that's where you are.
Yeah.
Just be real. Say that you ain't got nobody. Like, stop taking these pictures of all these fancy cars and got this fancy house, and you was on this trip, and then you didn't put the location that you was in this city.
Right.
Knowing that you was in Twinsburg. And that's okay.
It is. But here's the thing, though. Here's what I really believe. I mean, where does all that come from? Like, let's take a deeper look at that.
Yeah.
We live in a culture of the level up. Everybody is about the level up. Yeah. Everybody wants to showcase their lifestyle, what they're doing, that they're dope at this. And a lot of times you're finessing a situation, and you're making yourself to be more than what you are.
Yeah.
And I push on being 5,000% genuine.
Yeah.
And also being relatable, but also matching the genuine, the relatability with the skill.
Yeah.
Keep it real with people. I believe in keeping it real. If I'm learning a new skill, hey, let's learn this together. If you trust me to do that. But baby, let's also make sure that we got, like, let's stop doing business without taking care of business. Even if we're homies,
say that part again.
Let's stop doing business without taking care of business. Okay. And what I mean by that is let's stop lending our gifts, right? Lending the things that we're good at, even if it's to somebody we know, without going through the proper channels to legitimize ourselves as a real business. I can't be out here charging people any amount, right? If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing in order to be recognized by the state or the federal government as an entity who does business.
That's real.
That's not doing right, because you don't protect yourself.
Yep.
You don't protect your assets, and you're not protecting your clients. So if I'm working with somebody, we got a contract. Even if it's an exchange of service, we still moving on a contract.
I like that.
Even if you're the homie, we're still moving on a contract, because it holds everybody accountable.
It does. I love the way that you are approaching business in that perspective.
Thank you.
Because it's needed nowadays. And so when you think about, like, your personal journey, like, what gave you, and I always ask this question, like, the audacity to feel that I can do this regardless of all that I've been through, what people would say about me. Because we always talk about haters, but it's something different sometimes with your friends and supporters, like family. They're not necessarily haters, but it's a shock value that they experience for the first time when they see you doing something that they've never seen before from you. So when you couple all that with, that you have this skill and talent, like, what really gave you the audacity to feel that I can do this?
I think seeking purpose, doing things with purpose. I've seen the fruits and the challenges of doing things just to be doing them.
Yep. Because
somebody else told me, that's the thing to do. You should do this, you should do that, but it wasn't really a passion. And I've seen how I come alive when I'm moving in the lane that I'm supposed to be in.
Gotcha.
So I literally lit up and was excited. So it was very important for me to find my lane, to own it, to be confident in it, and just take the lead. Because what kind of life am I living? Like, how can I support people and tell them, hey, go after your dream? And this is part of a speaking platform. So when I'm going places and I'm speaking and I'm telling women, men, young ladies, kids, go after your dreams, and I'm not living that myself, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, how can I put that before you, and I'm valuing authenticity and truth, and I'm not living my own?
Yeah.
So I really think that that's what made me take the leap, is a desire to own my lane and to take my place. And however that looks, I'm with it. Let's go. Let's make it happen, because the hope is that it inspires somebody else.
All right. Now, who are you at your core?
Well, that's a good question. At my core, I'm a lover who simply wants to see people win.
Yeah.
I want to see people be in a lane, be strong in it, have options. I support a 9-to-5. I believe that everybody shouldn't try to be entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. It's not everybody's lane. Mm-hmm. I don't think that we should force people into entrepreneurship because it's what we're doing. I honestly, I just want to see people win. I'm a supporter. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. I'm a solid person. Mm-hmm. I'm true. I love God. Like, there's a whole bunch of things about me that I feel are important, but the major thing is just wanting to see people win. That's me at my heart.
I love it. Now, with all the stuff that you're doing right now, mm-hmm. what scares you about the process?
Ooh, what scares me about the process is, man, I think so often we ask for things, and when they come to us, we're unprepared for them. So I pray for these opportunities that I now have, and now that we're here, right? It can be a little bit scary. I think what scares me is possibly, I'm just gonna keep it real, success is scary. Yeah. Because when everywhere around you, you're hearing failure stories, and you're hearing about people who didn't quite make it, mm-hmm. or you see people who didn't quite make it, and that voice in your head is telling you, like, hey, you sure about this? Are you sure you really gonna be able to do this? Are you really clear about what it is that you're doing? This is a risk that you're taking. You could take a true L and be looking embarrassed. I think that can kind of pull you into a place where you're not willing to step out. So there are times when I get certain opportunities, I'm like, man, you sure? I don't really know.
So what do you do when those fears do come?
Sit with it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes...
And don't try to run away from it.
Please don't, because at the end of the day, we have to make our experience human. Yeah. Nobody is a machine. Nobody is without feelings. Nobody is without times where they're vulnerable. So I have to be vulnerable to myself and to God, so that we can process what exactly is going on, and I can make a true determination whether or not the direction that I'm moving in is the proper direction for what I got going on right now. Every opportunity is not a solid opportunity.
That's right.
All money is not good money.
Yeah.
All business partners are not good business partners.
Yeah.
All clients are not good clients. And it's cool to turn people down. It's cool to say, you know what, I'm not the best fit for you, and I want to make sure you get exactly what it is that you want. So let me go ahead and pass your information to somebody who's in my same industry, who I can vouch for, who would be a better fit for you. And I think that's a huge issue. We are so competitive for no reason. Like, everybody can eat. I say that all the time. We can all eat. Yeah. Even in the same industry. Yep. I know I am not the only branding boutique. I know I'm not the only person who specializes in branding and marketing and building people's business. I know I'm not the only speaker. I know I'm not the only co-founder of a women's empowerment group. However, I know that what I bring to the table and what that other young lady or that other dude brings to the table is different, because it's packaged in you. There's no other you. Yeah. Right? Yep. So that's how
I love that, because I think all of us sometimes struggle with the fact of seeing great attributes from other people, and it's like, man, I want that. I admire that so much. I want that to be a part of my story.
Yeah, for sure.
My journey, but it's not, because as we try to compete with other people and try to be something that we're not, God is almost like insulted. Like, bruh, sis, you really want to be them? Why? I made you amazing the way that you are. Right. Like, you really got some gifts and talents that you ain't even unlocked yet, because you're so focused on trying to get what somebody else got.
Right. And that's real. real. That's 100% real. And I mean, that is a process. Becoming comfortable with who you are and really owning that, being cool with your strengths, also acknowledging and being cool with the fact that you got some things that you need to work on, and actually doing the work that it takes to better yourself and keep moving on a process of upward movement and growth. That takes being real. And when we're surrounded in a society that tells us, and a generation that tells us that everything that we do has to be contrived, or that's what it looks like, everything is a big production, everything is made up, everything is scripted, where does the real come in at? And even what is posed to be real is actually fake. So we're fighting against that in a greater society as well as within our surroundings. So what do you do with that?
I love it. And it's like, you know, let's talk for a minute about this whole Black Panther movement.
Okay, let's do it.
And I haven't seen it yet.
I'm gonna keep it real. I haven't seen it either. I was about to say, no, I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
I haven't made it.
Hey, well, let's get free.
I'm in the minority. That's okay though.
Let's both get free then.
Let's
I
go.
haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
Right.
But we've seen the posts on Instagram. We've
Right,
seen them on
right,
Facebook.
right.
People are flooding our timelines literally with this whole movement.
Absolutely.
Here's the issue that I personally have with
Okay.
it. I think it's great for the culture that people are feeling empowered. But bro, sis, at what point are you going to empower yourself? Are you waiting for this movie? Are you waiting for some great speech? Are you waiting for Will Smith to now, he finally got on Instagram and now he's motivating you?
He's doing a lot and I love it.
I love it. I'm not mad. But it's like, you got something within yourself and you keep waiting for these magical moments for somebody to push you. But there's no push within yourself, because you know why I have a problem with that, Bri?
Why?
Because it's only for a moment.
True.
That Instagram video was for 1 minute. You share it with your friends. You tagged a few people. You said, wow, that was powerful. But what are you doing with it? Are you now waiting for the next video? Are you now waiting for the next speech, the next conference for you to go to, the next Black Panther movie? Like, you gotta have something within yourself that says, I realize the brilliance that I have within myself. This movie, this speech, this video, all it did was put a little icing on the cake, but I was already that cake that was baked.
I mean, I agree. I definitely think that there's a place and that there is a need for empowerment, especially in, I mean, if you even look what we got going on as far as governmental issues.
Yeah, it's jacked up.
It's a lot going on.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the timing was everything. Like, shout outs to our people for
sure.
For legit, I shouldn't even say legitimizing, but for people beginning to recognize a small portion of our greatness. It's sad that it takes a fictitious movie to do that. It's sad that we don't get that sort of recognition and appreciation on a regular basis. It's sad that it has to be looked at as entertainment as opposed to this is what people are doing in real life. Like, there are people who are great in real life, but I take it as a moment to, like you said, own my own greatness. Be very clear about, in the same way, I don't know the director's name. I don't know that, I forget his name.
But somebody said
something like that.
Something like that. He was also the guy that wrote some other movie.
Okay.
That was like small at first. No, Fruitvale Station. Yeah. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did see Fruitvale Station.
Okay.
Good movie. It was underground. Solid story. So shout outs to him.
Yeah,
so I think that if anything, I don't think that we should model our lives after anybody. I think that these moments that happen in media and that people broadcast, it's an opportunity for us to celebrate one another.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's also an opportunity for us to look at what imprint can we make. What imprint can we make that is within a tangible reach for us that can have a similar effect.
Yeah, and you know what, Bri, and it's like, again, I try to have a balance with this, and I don't share this with a lot of people, but I'm saying it with you.
Okay.
But it's almost like when the Cavs won the championship. Like, that's dope to me. Like, I love it.
Right.
But you're doing all that celebrating for Bron, but are you celebrating yourself? Like, you know all of his stats. Do you know your own stats? Do you know your credit report? Do you know your dreams, your goals, where you want to, what your purpose is? And it's like, again, I have no problem with applauding, rooting everybody else on. But at some point, you got to let the pom-poms drop to the floor and stop cheering for everybody else and figure out how you can cheer for yourself. How you what motivation can you glean from what you see? Like, man, they did that. What can I do now? There's a lane open. I mean, we talked about Obama for years. He had 8 years. We saw, okay, black president, this can happen.
Right.
What are you personally doing with your own life?
Great question. Right. I definitely think that we have to be willing to grow and evolve.
Yeah.
In order, let's even put it into perspective. What does it take in order to win a sports championship? It's a collaborative effort.
That's it.
We always one up Brian, and of course I love Brian because he's from my city, right?
Right.
Of course we love Brian.
Right.
But it wasn't just his individual effort that got the team to where they got to. It was being surrounded by the proper team, right?
Yep.
The team had to be together. They had to have a level of unity and cohesion in order for them to be able to execute the way they executed.
Exactly.
They also had to have a solid coach who was able to give appropriate direction. They also had to condition themselves and make sure that each individual team member was doing their part to bring their position, play their position properly, right?
Yep.
The point guard can't also be the guard.
Yep.
Hello? You got to know your position and you got to play, and you have to be comfortable in your position.
Yep.
So just opening up your mind and us opening up our minds together to take a look at what's the deeper meaning. And people don't want to think deep. They want to be fake deep. And that's cool. But
exactly. And to your earlier point about the competition aspect and everybody being able to eat. Like, we all can eat. I don't care if because there's going to be people that feel more comfortable with this life coach versus the other one.
Absolutely.
There's going to be somebody that's in a better price point than the other person.
Absolutely.
Somebody that has better hours. All those different things you have to consider, and that's why it's so important to find your own niche. To say, what can I uniquely do that's slightly different or all the way different than the next person?
Let's be clear. I give this analogy to the homies and clients all the time. Let's be very clear. Manny, in this area, how many McDonald's are there?
Several.
Are they all still in business, the ones that you're referring to?
Yep.
Exactly. So if McDonald's, who has the exact same menu any place that you go, with maybe a slight variation, if they can all stand and be flourishing, why can't we all stand in the same lane, have the same industry, and not still flourish and be able to move forward in business?
Exactly.
Why we feel like we have to shade the other life coach or the other entertainment specialist or the other writer or the other actor who's in our same area? Why can't we empower?
Yep.
Why can't we do that? We can all. It's happening elsewhere. Why can't it happen here?
I totally agree.
To speak to me being a co-founder of Queens and Gems, I don't know if Chris really got into the story, but this is the reason why we plugged in and did what we did. Because we saw a gap, we saw an issue, and as opposed to continuously discussing, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is what's going wrong, let's be the answer to an issue that exists.
I love that. So when you first got involved in that organization, like, what made you feel like this is something that I have to do?
I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have solid relationships with other women.
Okay.
And so if I'm a connector by nature, which is what I've been told and it's what I believe, like, I connect people. It's something that I do without even really realizing that it's being done. Why wouldn't I offer that to someone else?
Gotcha.
If I have information that I know somebody else needs, or if I have somebody I know can help solve a question or issue in somebody else's life, why would I not refer? So it was a no-brainer for me. Penny and Chris are solid individuals. Yep. We went to college together, like we all went to camp.
Oh, nice.
Chris and I used to work together at an organization, and we developed a relationship. And so when we were talking about just some of the challenges that we were experiencing professionally, as well as entrepreneurs in our lanes, and just as women, millennial women in the area, we were like, well, what can we do?
That makes sense.
You know, Queens and Gems was born. The name comes from my organization, which is one of my organizations, which is the Queens Collective,
Okay.
out of Akron, right? And then we have Jim and Me, which focuses on the development of young ladies in the Cleveland area. So we meshed them together, played on both of the names, and let's not talk about collaboration, like let's actually collaborate. So that's how that went.
I love it. Now, what do you hate about the entrepreneurial journey?
What do I hate? Let's see. I hate the assumption that it's easy. I hate the false perspective and the dream that is sold to individuals who are entrepreneurs and who want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's the big thing.
That's good.
It's glorified. And the results, the end results of success, and I put that in quotation marks because what is success? It's defined by the individual. But outward success, material success, is defined by people outside of us. And I feel like that's not what it is. Like I don't like that. And I wish that was something that would look a little bit different.
I love that. That's good. And it's like, even with me, apart from this, I have what's called Manny and Associates. So it's a business development company. We help entrepreneurs, business owners get from start to finish for their business, and really help in terms of marketing, flyer development, video content, understanding social media a little bit better, strategizing their business, all that. It's challenging sometimes, because even bringing in clients, like they'll have their own way of what they think it should be. And while I'm trying to help you, because you came to me, because you felt that I could help you.
Right.
And it's still like you're bringing your own experience, your own preconceived notions into the situation.
Right.
That's not helping. But in order to make you happy, sometimes I have to give you what you want, even though it's not what you need.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that real quick. That triggered a thought for me about, okay, so everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, many people are on this, let me scoop from my 9 to 5 and pick up entrepreneurship. I think a false mindset that a lot of people hold is that, now there are freedoms, of course, to being 100% your own entity, having a business, and that being your full bread and butter, right? But even if let's say you quit the 9 to 5 tomorrow, okay, cool, and your business is in a place where it can sustain itself as far as consistent clientele coming in. Do you recognize, that the people who you serve are your bosses? If they're not satisfied, those are your supervisors. They are the ones that are bringing in the revenue and the stream of the income. They're the ones that are providing the review and referring other people. So I think that sometimes the view of entrepreneurship is very cocky. It's a buzzword. Not everybody's an entrepreneur. I sell shirts, I'm an entrepreneur. I cut hair, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an independent contractor for somebody, I'm an entrepreneur. So it's a buzzword. And it's really nice. Let's get mobile. Let's bring in multiple streams, right? Let's not rely on our job or our business or our husband, our wife, our boyfriend, ourselves to bring in whatever. But let's be realistic about what the entrepreneurial journey looks like. And let's not run from being up under leadership, because we all got to be up under some sort of leadership, to run to entrepreneurism because we feel like
you're making such a great point.
Go ahead.
And I love it, because although it's easily seen, I think that that's really the crutch of the reason why most people want to be quote unquote entrepreneur, because I don't like the responsibility aspect of going to a job because somebody tells me that I have to come to work on time. Somebody told me I can't be stealing paper. Somebody told me I got to clock in and out on time. Somebody told me you can't work any old hours you want to. You have to do it this way. But to your point, you become this full-time entrepreneur there's still rules.
Clearly, there's rules and systems every place. If you ignore the rules and the system, like you don't have to follow them, that's your choice. But to be knowledgeable about what the rules and systems are, you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't think
Every
about
time.
those things.
And then maybe the reason why your business hasn't evolved, maybe the reason why it hasn't grown and you're not off your job yet, because God knows that you can't be trusted yet.
Very clear. And let's also talk about motives.
Yes.
Why do you want what you want?
Mm.
And so here's what makes me different as a business coach, a professional development specialist, whatever title you want to put on it. Here's what makes what I do different. I believe that there is a clear connection between someone's professional development or the development of their business and their personal development.
Yeah.
I've seen, especially women, I've seen so many women who are successful in one area or the other. So either they're doing they're solid as far as their relationships and they are in a deficit professionally, or they're solid professionally and they're in a deficit as far as their personal development or their relationships. I believe that it's important to bridge the gap. So when someone comes to me, they're not just getting, okay, well let's flesh through your vision, let's flesh through what an appropriate social media campaign looks like, let's flesh through like what are your touchstones, what are your overarching messages, what's your archetype, what need is your business speaking to, what need is your product speaking to. We're answering all of those questions. But listen, none of that is any good if you're not confident in your business. None of that is any good if you still dealing with residue about the failure that you experienced in the past, or you're waiting for family, friends, homies to support you. Guess what? Your business is not for your family and your friends.
Yeah. And to that point as well, I feel personally that i.e. emotional intelligence it's huge, because if you don't know how to manage your emotions in your personal life, that's going to naturally bleed into your business.
Duly noted. And guess what? You can be super excellent. Like, you can be the best at your craft. But if you are a jerk, I'm looking at the camera for this one because I need to be super clear. Like, if you're a jerk, no.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and zoom that in.
Come
Say that
on
one
and
more
zoom
time.
in, because I'm very serious. Like, bro, nobody is going to want to work with you if you're a jerk. Like, stop being mean to people. Stop talking about people. Stop shading people. Stop doing things with an ulterior motive, and you're saying you're helping, but you're really looking for a platform to get money. Be honest about why you started. Start with yourself, because everybody can see it. And any success that you have, that's great, and I applaud you. But what is it really for? What value are you really adding? And if the value is false, the reality is that at some point you're going to take the L, because you're not doing it with a genuine mind and a genuine heart or genuine intention. So stop being a jerk. Like, be nice. You can get so much further that way. End of PSA.
I love that. I think I'm going to watch this interview when I get home.
Hey.
All right, so, Bri, any last words for the people as we get up out of here?
Yeah, be yourself. Be comfortable with being who you are.
Before you start that nice little speech part, how can they get in contact with you? Because I want the last thing you said, you closing it out powerful. So how can they get in contact with you?
All right, so listen, you can email me at hello@brinorelle.com. That is BRINORELLE.com. And listen, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. Same tag there, at Bri Norelle on IG. And I do respond to people, so say what's up.
That's what's up.
Yes.
All right, final words.
Final words, be yourself. Do you. Know your lane. Be confident. Find out what you believe in, whether it is God or another source. Be clear about what you believe in. Exercise that. Don't try to fight people about your beliefs. And plug into purpose, because life truly opens up when you are doing what you were born to do. So find that thing and own it, and bring people along for the ride. You can only win that way.
I love this.
My words.
I love this. Well, Bri, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
I feel like you was at home practicing this whole interview.
Not at all.
Because like you did so dope. and I appreciate it.
Thank
Gave
you.
so much
Thank
great
you.
information.
Thank you.
It was like right on point. I don't even think you stuttered one time.
Well,
This
shout out
is
to that.
crazy.
Listen. Well, listen, Manny, I appreciate the opportunity.
For sure,
Thank
for
you so
sure.
much for giving me an opportunity to come on the show. I hope to be back. Will you have me back, though?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we can get into more discussion. Thank you so much.
For sure. All right, y'all. Manny Hall Show. We out. Peace.